Somebody release your sound and give God a shout. What does your victory sound like? What does it sound like? Yeah. When you wait in your seat, tap 3 people around you, tell them we win, we win, we win, we win, we win, we win, we win. And we'll never see that again. And we'll never deal with that again. And we'll never have to fight that again. We got a permanent victory. We got a permanent victory. Everybody shout, he fights. Somebody say, we win. The second thing you got to understand is not only does Joshua fight, not only is he a fighter, we're trying to get you to the next place, the next level, the next dimension. How do you get to your next dimension, the next place that's sustainable for God in your life? After he fights, he follows. Can you say he follows? Joshua follows Moses. He pays attention to any type of person that has this type of favor with God and staying connected and can send an instruction, and I have the victory by the raising and the lifting of his hands. I need to stay connected to him. Look at somebody and tell them, stay connected to anybody that makes your life better. Come on, tell them, I don't care what they lied on them and try to get you to. The enemy hates your divine connection. You got to learn how to stay connected to anybody that takes your life up. Enough people tried to drag you down. It's time for you to go up, up, up. When God wants to take you up, he sends somebody to your life. So Moses and Joshua is divinely connected. Exodus 24:13 says, then Moses set out with Joshua his aide. There go that word again, trying to minimize what it is that he does. And he says to Joshua his aides, and Moses went up to the mountain of God. And he said to the elders while he were passing by them, he says, wait here for us until we come back to you. How many of you know there's some levels that you're going on that everybody can't go? How many of you know that there's some places that everybody can't go, that when God has a level to put you on, he selects and assigns who's supposed to go with you? And anybody that falls off when God is taking you up, don't you try to hurry up and mourn over that season, because God knew that they couldn't handle that next altitude. He says, wait here until he comes back to you, and Aaron and Hur are here with you. And anyone that is involved in a dispute can go to them, because we got other business. We ain't got time to be breaking up fights. We have to be focused on the next level and the next dimension. Aaron and Hur stay here and deal with this. Then Moses, he went up and he entered into the cloud on the mountain. And he stayed on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. Now, Joshua did not know what Moses was going up to do, but he knew that he was connected to Moses, and where Moses was going, he was going to go. And what Moses was about to do was he was about to expose him to another level that he couldn't get to by himself. Joshua remained in this place because there are some places that you can only get to if somebody leads you. There's some places that you can, some levels of exposure that you can only get to if somebody brings you into. There's some groups, some connections that you can get to only if someone invites you. There's some levels that God has for your life, that he has assigned someone to your life to help get you to the next place. But you have to be willing to follow. Because sometimes following sounds easier than it really is. Sometimes it's harder to follow than it is to lead. It's harder to following when it is to lead, because when you're following instead of leading, you're not always knowing where the person that's in front of you is trying to take you. He's just going up, 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 up in the mountain, and Joshua's with him. And while he's up in the glory, he's learning how to follow. He's learning his cadence. He's learning his pace. He's learning the dimensions that he's taking him to. And when you're in this space, you're learning by faith. You're following by faith because you recognize that you can't get to some places unless someone leads you there. There's a couple years back, there's a paraplegic Olympic race by the name of a person by the name of David Brown. And David Brown is a blind sprinter. And he trained in the blind sprinting with a person by the name of Jerome Avery. Now, David is blind, but Jerome can see. And Jerome is running and training with David. And in the running and training with David, that David's pace is predicated on Jerome's pace. That if Jerome is slow, David is slow. If Jerome is fast, David is fast. Because Jerome can see, but David can't see. David can hear what Jerome says, but he can't see where he's going. And the only way that he's going to win is predicated on the pace of who he's running with. And while he's running, you see him mouthing, and it looked like they're racing against each other, but instead they're racing together. And while he's running, he's saying, "Go, David, go, David, go." You need to be around somebody that's not trying to compete with you, but trying to make sure that you get your life to the next level. And if I can't see, long as I can hear, I'm going to get where God is trying to take me. I need you to tap somebody around you and say, "Go, go, 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 go up, go in, go get all the money, go get all the health, go get your family, go get your mind, go get your peace, go get everything that God has for you." And when you can't see, I got your back and I'm running with you. High five your neighbor, tell him, "I'm running with you, I'm running with you, I'm running with you, I'm running with you. I'm not in competition with you, but I'm here to compliment." Where your praise partner at? Can you take 15 seconds and see who you sitting with? Are you sitting with somebody that got your back and wants you to win? Lift up your voice and get caught up. Somebody say, "I learned how to follow. I learned how to follow. I learned how to follow. I learned how to follow. When I can't see, I can still hear." And so Joshua goes up. He goes up to follow. And in his going up to follow, he gets to the next place and the next dimension. You can stop the video. He goes up to the next dimension and the next place, because every level of your life needs leadership. I tell you all the time, look at somebody and say, every level of your life needs leadership. Every level of your life needs leadership. There are some goals that you will not hit unless somebody helps you get there. There's some pounds you can't lose unless you got a trainer. There's some financial practice you can't get into unless you got a financial coach. There's a health level that you can't get to unless you have the right person leading in your life. I know that people don't want to be led. People don't want to be led. People don't want to be led, but there's some levels in your life that you can't get to unless you're led properly. And being led properly allows you to focus properly and allows you to follow. And when you're following, you must remain curious, you must remain close, and you must remain connected. You must remain curious, you must remain close, and you must remain connected. When you're following, you stay close, you stay curious. Where are we going? What are we doing? You keep wonder, you keep open, you keep being hungry, you keep anticipating. You must stay curious because there's places you haven't seen before. I'm curious because I must stay close. I must not let anything get in between me and the person that I'm divinely assigned for. I must stay connected because my connection is giving me life. And when I learn how to follow in a curious and a close and a connected way, then my faith begins to rise, because the more things that God exposes me to is the next thing that he's about to reveal in my life. How many of you know that when God releases a new exposure, he's just raising your expectation? He didn't bring you into their new house to make you jealous. He brought you into their new house because you next. I need somebody. He didn't let you ride in a new car to make you upset. He put you in a new car so you can say, if you did it for them, you can do the same for me. I need you to double high five two people, one on your left and one on your right, and say, the same God that's blessing you is the same God that's blessing me. I'm going to stay connected to your life, because when I go up, I got a church up in here. What you doing? I'm celebrating your future. I'm celebrating the levels that God taking you on. He follows, and when he follows, his faith rises. And Moses is taking Joshua through the paces because he's like, there's some places, there's some things in your future that I see that your faith needs to rise in order for you to get. So I need to take you in places so your faith operates. And when you follow me and your faith rise, then your faith causes you to follow the future. And the things is that the instructions that you follow determines the future that you receive. The ability to follow and go up and where are we going, and staying curious and staying close and staying connected. He finds himself in a place of absolute submission where he gets a revelation of God that he never would have got before. For 40 days and 40 nights, he's curious. You can imagine the warfare, when we're going down and when it's going to change and when it's going to turn. But he's saying the thing that I'm preparing you for in the glory is because of where you're about to go in the future. The things that I'm trying to show you in this now moment, I don't need you to be so preoccupied with your next that you miss what God is doing right now. Can I get somebody that can just throw your hands up again to worship God for the moment that you're standing in is equipping you and preparing you for where he's about to take you. But in order for you to get there, you must learn how to follow. He's following. And as Joshua's following, he's following his place. He's in a place of wonder and in a place of curiosity, and he's positioned properly. And what's literally happening is Joshua's future is unfolding while Moses is following out his faith. And the question is, if somebody is following you, can they find their future in your faith? If somebody is walking with you, can they discover who they are in God by watching your life? Can they learn how to pray by walking with you? Can they learn how to worship by walking with you? Can they learn how to praise by walking with you? Because some people can't see God first. They got to see you. And the only God that they may see first is you. Pastor, he decides to follow. He decides to stay close. He decides to keep the pace. He decides to finish. He recognizes that Moses is in a realm that he's not in. And literally while he's with Moses in this realm and in this space, his life is unfolding and God is equipping and preparing him for something that does not yet exist yet. He's building in him something that he needs for where he's going. And I'm telling you that everything in your life has prepared you for this moment. And everything that you went through, all the ups, the downs, the hell, the good, and the bad, it's all been about equipping you for your future. Now, if you believe that, I need you to take 10 seconds and give God the praise and give the devil a headache because he thought he discouraged you to go backwards. But instead, God says, I'm about to take you forward.